right, let's make a pie graph. So we're looking at the pie graph data, right? We need to add that data in the form of a pie graph to our pages. So we're going to click on the plus sign and choose to add a graph. If you search through here, it's going to show you some choices, and you can have either one of these. For today, we're going to do the regular pie graph because we're going to make ours fancy. All right, I'm just going to touch and drag, and I can resize by grabbing my little corners there. I want to add my data, so I'm going to tap my graph, and then I'm going to click on Edit Data. So this data needs to look the same as this data, all right? First, I'm going to start up here. I'm going to tap in that first row in the region. I'm going to replace it with the name of my data, and this is favorite cafeteria food. All right? And instead of months of the year, we need to make this be the food. So you'll tap in each of these months and replace it with the food from your data. Okay? So let's do that right now. So I have hamburger. I could also select it, and then I have this little button down here. If I click that, pizza. Pizza. All right, and now we need to get rid of these extra columns here. So to do that, tap where the top of your column is, where the colored bar is, and then tap once more and click delete. So tap to select, tap to delete. All right. The final thing that we need to do is make sure that we have some data in here. So you can choose to do one of two things. You can use the percentages. If you choose to do that, don't put the percent number in there. Just put in 40. Or use the raw data and just tell how many students did that. But don't put in the percent sign because that'll mess you up. So I have 8, 5, 3, and 4. Typos. All right, I'm finished putting in my information, and I'm going to click Done now. All right. The next thing the task tells us to do is to edit the style of our graph. So we have to add a chart title, a legend, images, and then we need to show the percentages with leader lines. And if you look at your graph right now, we already have a legend. We're missing a title. We need to move these percentages out, and then we need to add some images. We're going to do this by formatting. So make sure your graph is turned on. Click it so that the blue dots are on, and now click the paintbrush. On this initial menu, we can turn on the title toggle, and I can change the style right here by clicking into this menu, and I can change the justification, I can change the color of the text, I can change it to bold, and however big I want it to be. So I can play with that a little bit. It'll let us do a shadow. I don't really think we need one. The next thing we need to do is move these percentages out. And so that is up here in the Style menu. So I'll click Style. I'm going to look through here. I don't want to change the size of the numbers or the values or how they're formatted, but I do want to click on position and change it to outside. And then I kind of like when the lines do this little thing where they angle in. So that's what I'm going to choose. Back. And I think everything looks good. So I'll click out. What I don't like right now is that my legend is right on top of my title. To move that, I'm going to turn on the graph so that I have the little dots. And I'm going to click and hold this, and then I'm just going to drag it to where I want it. So let me make this smaller so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to click and just move it. And all I did is put my finger on it and hold and drag. I didn't do anything else. I don't like that it's got two columns here, so I'm going to adjust that by grabbing this little green dot and either stretching it out or squashing it in. So I think it looks better like that. And I want to actually name my graph, so I'm going to double tap on the title. And I'm just going to use the name of the graph from the handout. And the graph is called Favorite Cafeteria Foods. So, favorite cafeteria foods. Alright, now we need to add some pictures. So I'm going to make this bigger and select out of the graph and click on the plus sign back up here, because remember we're adding something. This time we're going to add an object. And you'll see that there's a little menu here. We can scroll around. Right. I'm in the food menu, and I'm looking for food that matches my graph. So I see a hamburger. I want to add pizza. And I didn't see a chicken nugget, but I did see a drumstick, so we'll use that. And then for other, I don't know, maybe a taco or a hot dog. Let's do taco. All right, so here's my problem now. These pictures, they don't really fit what I'm doing here. I need to make them smaller, and I need to change their colors because they can't all be blue. So if I look, my hamburger wedge is the blue wedge. Actually, I think I got my data mixed up. Let me edit my data. Yeah, that one should be pizza, and that one should be hamburger. There we go. So pizza will go here, but pizza's blue. Let's make pizza yellow. So to do that, I'm going to tap the pizza picture, and then I'll tap the format paintbrush, and then I can pick one of these presets, or I can click over here where it says fill, and I can choose color or gradient or image. For the pizza, it won't really work to fill it with an image, but I can click color and pick a different color. So I like that yellow. I'll come out of here. Now my pizza's in there. I'm going to drag it over and set it on top of this graph. It looks nice, but it's kind of big. So again, grab your little corners and resize. And I think I want to change the angle. I want to rotate it. So I'm going to use two fingers and twist like this. So tap with one and move with the other. There we go. So there's my pizza. And I'll continue to adjust my images and change their colors. And then I want to group everything. So once everything is changed, you're going to select all of them. So I'll tap my pizza. Then I'm going to put my finger on the screen so that I can continue. So tap my pizza, hold the pizza, tap your graph, and then click group. Now they can resize together. All right.